level.
Right. Hence the reason why you might have certain laws against that type of behavior.
Right.
Right.
Right. Or you know, there might be an advancement in culture, so to speak, that shapes itself in such a way, let's say, to protect individuals from experiences like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's several different fractions, if you will, that arise as a result of that isolated incident.
Right.
And if I'm understanding you correctly, the focus isn't on whether, you know, the wrongness or the inverse of the incident, right? It's expanding the idea to something larger in full context of the scenario.
Right.
Because what we deal with is very redacted and we see it from a very limited point of view.
Yes.
Exactly. Because you don't know. You really don't know what's wrong or right. You just know what's wrong or right here. You don't know why this person had to deal with that at all, or why did they even chose to deal with that
When you say here, what do you mean? You mean like in the physical?
in the physical realm.
Right.
Because we can always say something is wrong
Right.
in a community. We can start our own community and say, no, this wrong, but it can
Make
be
up our
accepted
rules.
to whoever, you know, outside of us.
Right.
They would say, no, that's right.
Right.
And you know what? A mass quantity of people, we only perceive things from the sensory complex. A lot of us don't deal with the chakras, the energetic meridians, or the acupuncture points, you know what I mean, that reside in the what they would probably call as the parasympathetic nervous system.
Right. Which is scientifically proven.
There's science
Come on.
for all the science group. There's stuff that supports the terms that we throw out there.
Right.
Right? And again, this we'll get to this a little bit later, right? But this takes me to another point where, you know, we lack coherency because we don't fully perceive ourselves.
And that's the point. It's easy to point the blame outward to something because again, we're using fully our intellect.
Right.
Right? So situations we're saying, well, factually it's this. We're using our seeing, our smelling, hearing, tasting, feeling, and we're using these limited senses to interpret the situations and circumstances that's happen all around us.
Right. So, taking that what we've said so far, right? Where does this land us on the spectrum of suffering? So we said it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Right.
So now what?
Choose not to suffer. It's easier said than done.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, you have Hindu concepts or Hindu ideas, Buddhists. You have Christian ideas. Right. Even in Hebrew or Jewish communities, you have certain ideas about how to balance your mental.
Okay.
And I think it's a combination of all. All doesn't have the complete truth, but they all have a distortion or a part of the truth.
Right. Okay.
So it goes back to me, to knowing thyself.
Right.
Knowing that when you came, I'm not going to say you were a blank slate, but you were a slate that was you just were. We'll say that you just were. And your first immediate stimuli of information, knowledge, and emotions was your mother. And from the inception of you being in the womb till you came out of the womb. So you're first stimulated by her emotions, her feelings, and so on and so forth, right? Then you're born into this world. Now, if your father's in the picture, your mother, your grandmother, your grandfathers, your friends, your siblings, this is cultural impact, familiar impact, and cultural impact. It starts shaping the way you see things and experience things. Again, concepts of right and wrong. Right. And even in those concepts of right and wrong, it's things that our family and friends tell us that if you ever read the book, The Four Agreements,
yes,
that you actually on a conscious level or I should say subconscious or unconscious level, you start making agreements with yourself. So if you, I don't know, you play with your toys and you don't clean them up, you don't pick them up accordingly to whatever your family says. It's like, well, you didn't, you need to put your toys away. And the stern talking to it impacts you. And okay, I must have did something bad or something wrong.
Right.
But let's say you put your toys away and everything. Oh, you cleaned up, good boy. Or that you such a he's so good, and you get these rewards and these things for things that you do. It starts shaping your perception of what's good and what's bad.
Right.
If you get awards in school, or you're a good student, you're very smart, you're very intelligent. People start telling you these things. It starts shaping your mind for, okay, this is good.
Right.
If you get a B minus, shoot, you might get an A minus, and you might have a hard tiger mom or something, and she's coming at you like, we accept nothing less than an A plus.
Right.
It shapes your mind. I'm not good enough.
Right.
So all these agreements and choices that we're making to create the persona or the personality which is a creation, you created that. You are not your personality. It's who you've chosen to be.
Right.
Up to this point in your life. So the same way you can choose to be this person, to choose to like this or dislike that, to choose to ruminate on things that has happened in the past and bring them in the present. Ruminate.
No, you good. I'm framing my next.
Right. You're thinking. A lot of us are not even present to handle situations.
Right.
We're reactive. So we're looking at things that's happened in the past, right? And we're experiencing certain things, and we're just replaying how we reacted back then.
Now, so since you said that,
Right.
or you
No, go ahead.
since you said that, how do you associate patterns with suffering? First question.
It's okay.
Hold tight. Because I got to back up to the book
Okay.
that he mentioned. Do you know? Say the book again. Do you know the author of that book?
John.
Well, we'll just throw stuff out. And
Okay.
they don't get the.
I think it's John Miguel Ruiz. I'll look up the name.
Oh yeah. Ruel. No.
Ruiz.
Yeah, Ruiz
so,
for the 4 agreements.
yeah, for the 4 agreements. I just want to make everything clear.
No,
so
it's
we don't
it's
just
Don
throw stuff.
Miguel Ruiz.
Don.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know his sons and
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
family thing.
Yeah, so,
Good book. Great book.
It's a good book.
Yeah, go read it. Do something.
Thanks for that,
If you
okay.
just wanna
Yes,
listen
we'll
to
try
it.
to throw out the author and the name of these books as we
Because
speak.
we don't
on.
want you to go past certain things that we understand and that we've come across and how we get our understanding. So we want to, if we bringing books out, we're going to give you the
Yes.
author and things like that also. So you can go out there and you can go see it for yourself. But like you say at the beginning of the podcast, don't believe nothing we say.
And you know what? One more other point on the book, right? When it gets in and it starts talking about the agreements that, the 4 agreements, understand that those are sentiments that you also build into your energetic pattern,
Yes.
your energetic core blueprint.
And for another word for that could be your aura.
Your aura,
Your auric
right.
field.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I just want to touch on it. Go ahead.
all good. So you said a lot of us are not present, Zach, and you said that we ruminate or we focus on things from the past, and then we'll bring them forward to the now
Energetically.
energetically.
Yes.
So the question I have for you then is, are patterns associated with suffering?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I would say too. I would say that too.
Okay.
Yes.
Of course.
Give me a second to get my thoughts together.
Yes.
Yes, because what you're doing, right? A lot of people, they go into situations and circumstances, they have experiences, and no one's ever, especially in the African American community, and I'm sure it's in all communities, but I'm only speaking based on what people consider African American. We don't take time to heal.
What?
We don't take time to heal from situations and circumstances, or in the catchphrase is from trauma.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everything's not trauma. It's just things that happen and you can move on. But
Exactly.
I'm talking about things that impact you psychologically, that, let's say a relationship, and you go from this relationship and you're like, okay, I've moved on past this person or whatever the case may be, but you still haven't really taking that time, that pause moment to look at yourself. It's not about the person.
Right.
Because I have to use what I did. You have to take that person and all the things that you feel like I don't deserve this or whatever, and take that and put it off to the side and put it in a box for a while, and just deal with you and look at the things that you did.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And you look and say, well, was I X, Y? This is what they said about me. Did I do this?
Right.
And really go into yourself and just start breaking yourself down. Like, man, I'm using an example of me. Dang, I did used to drink a lot.
Right.
You know, I always try to go out on the weekends. I mean, that kind of kept me from, because what's a woman's nature? A woman wants to be with her man.
Yeah.
A woman wants to support her man.
Right.
A woman wants her man to be up under her. Maybe not all women, but their nature is to be present with their man. And what's a man's nature? Not all men. I need to go be with my boys. I want to go hang out with my friends. You know, I don't always want to be up under my girl. She need to go do something with her friends. So when you start looking at these things, and it's like, man, like, okay, I could accept that maybe, and this is just being gentle. Maybe I was going out too much.
Okay.
Maybe I was drinking a little excessively.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I wasn't spending quality time the way I could have spent quality time. And you just keep asking yourself questions and breaking yourself down. When we separated, is that really considered cheating if I go deal with somebody else? Because they consider it cheating. We don't consider that cheating. We consider it a break. So
that's interesting.
As you analyze yourself and the things that you may have done to impact a good or possibly potentially beautiful relationship, you start letting that person off the hook on some level and start focusing on you. And in doing these things, that self-reflection and breaking yourself down to the quick. They say break it. I ain't gonna say the white meat, to the quick. When you break yourself down like that, it's like, yo, like maybe not all, depending on that person, maybe some of the things that they did to me is reactionary from me.
So
hold on, real quick. So did I really ask for that experience?
Right.
Because that experience, did I really do things that was cause? Did I do things that generated a response, a reaction to me? And even though I may think I didn't deserve certain things, it's exactly what I needed to make me stronger and better, to even go into that place of analyzation.
okay.
To come out on the other end a better man, woman, whatever the situation may be.
Right.
And when you do that, when you get to another situation, I stop there because you had something on your mind. I stop right there. I try to remember.
Are those emanations demonstrations of patterns?
What do you mean?
So you said, did I do this?
Right.
Did I speak this way?
Yes.
Did I act?
And this is how you'll know. If you don't do the analyzation, you're going to do the same thing